It's morning, and I'm terrified to go outside because of the number of sandflies I see attacking the tent right now. So I'm standing above the part of the river that I fell in. There's definitely a bunch of boulders, and I'm not sure quite what happened, but early on I somehow ran into a rock and then flipped over on one of those drops. So that's what happened. Now I need to decide what to do. Okay, so I packed up this morning, and it's pretty simple. I'm not an expert whitewater paddler. I'm basically just a normal guy with a pack raft, if that's normal. So I've decided to hike a little bit downstream to see what the next rapids look like and see if I can handle it. The problem is, if I fall in the rapids and I lose the boat or lose my backpack, I'm in much worse trouble. Even though I'm alive, I still may be in for some days of misery trying to figure out how to get out of here without all my gear. So that's a problem. Another issue is, even if I keep the boat, even if I don't lose the boat or my backpack, I also have the problem where every time I fall into the rapids, it's pretty cold out here, and I gotta dry off because I can't sit soaking wet in a boat or in the water for too long without freezing.
You know in the Neverending story, when the story gets dark and the kid gets scared, he lights candles in the attic? Well, this was a dark moment for me. It was my first major failure of the trip, and I was nervous. I was down to my last day of food, and I had bashed my knee pretty badly when I had flipped over in the gorge, which reminded me how dangerous it was to do this trip by myself. But I knew I'd already made it this far, and I just couldn't stop thinking about the Goonies.
Look how far we've come. We've got a chance.
Chance at what, Mikey? Getting killed? Look, if we keep going, someone's really gonna get hurt. Maybe dead.
Don't say that. Never say that. Goonies never say die.
So I started walking downstream to scout the rapids, hoping that if I didn't see any big drops or crazy whitewater ahead, that I could psych myself up to keep paddling.
Okay, I'm gonna take one more shot at the whitewater here and see how that goes. Just want to stay safe and want to get out of here. The idea is to get out of here and all the way to the road today. This is an adventure. Thought I'd try one more shot. I made it down the river farther, and the rapids were pretty fun, pretty good. I didn't flip over, but now behind me, I see a thin gorge here that maybe is fine, but the last time I hit one of these gorges is when I fell into the water, and the gorges make the gorge obviously makes the water, the river narrow, which means steeper drops, big boulders possibly in there, and I can't see around the corner. I can't scout it easily. So I've decided I'm gonna just attach my pack to my raft in a real quick way, hike a little bit downstream to make sure everything looks safe, and then I'll continue paddling from there. That drop down there is the drop that I decided to walk around because it looks too scary from the side. After that, the gorge looks nice, but not that. Probably would have fallen into that thing with the pack raft. So here I am walking along above the river, a little disappointed because I wanted to paddle all of it, but I also don't want to crash my head into a rock. So I'm gonna hike this section. The thing about trips like this is that you just kind of never know what you're gonna get, because you really, no matter how well you plan, you don't know what you're going to encounter. Water levels are variable, boulder movement's variable, so rocks move in the water. But the truth is, even though I'm not getting to paddle this small section, the scenery here is insanely beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life, hands down. And I'm getting to see some stuff right now that I never would have seen had I stayed on the main Te Aurora path here or paddled this section. So I'm not too sad.
I'm supposed to cross the river here, according to the trail map I've been following to avoid crazy whitewater. But the water here is way too deep and fast to wade through, and it's hard to move up or downstream because of the steep riverbank. So I'm gonna throw the boat in from this ledge and then paddle over there to cross it. Hopefully this will work.
Okay, so I've hiked a little bit past the rapids that were freaking me out, and now, oh my gosh, so many sand flies, it's so annoying. And now I'm gonna paddle to the end.
But I knew that the dangerous long gorge called the Narrows was coming up. Before the trip, I read a report from a group of paddlers who flipped in the canyon and lost their boats, gear, paddles, and food. So, because I learned from last night's gorge fiasco, I decided to stop safely before the Narrows and hike around it, but I wasn't sure of the route.
So I made a big mistake. I got out of the river too early where I thought there was a track according to one of my GPS maps, and there kind of was a track, but I ended up losing it and bushwhacking through there. I'm exhausted. I'm not gonna make it out to the end of this stage today. Right now I'm just trying to get to the hut. I made it to Tin Jug Hut after some bushwhacking, jumping down to the river, a random set of mistakes. I found the road that leads to Tin Jug Hut. I'm pretty happy now. This took me a lot longer than I would have liked. I was supposed to finish this stage today, but that's okay. I'll spend the night at Tin Jug Hut. 3 more hours of paddling down that river, down the Waiau. we'll end this stage tomorrow.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to see where I go next.